Under the New Patriotic Party, let me use the same sources of data that I used to explain to you what the NDC has done, how they have mismanaged the economy, to demonstrate to you how is it the NPP was turning around the economy. In terms of GDP in 2017, quickly after we took over from the NDC, and ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to verify these numbers. And when they come to your studios again and they are telling you NPP was reckless, NPP mismanaged, tell them that you saw this number here today. In 2017, we grew this economy at 8.1% compared to the 3.7% 2016. So it wasn't as if there was a growth momentum we inherited. The economy was contracting. And this government, this same government, took that economy in 2017 and grew it 8.1%. In 2018, we grew the economy again 6.3%. In 2019, this economy grew by 6.5%. And in 2020, the economy grew at 0.5%. And we'll talk about that. If you stick a paper or a pin there, we'll talk about the 0.5% growth in the economy later. In the real sector, industry under the NPP grew at the highest recorded number yet, at 16.7%. So at this point, if NPP is telling you that Ghanaians are doing well, you can tell because there's growth in the industry sector. Albeit not everybody, but you look at the growth trajectory, you're seeing that a significant number of people can find space in a 16.7% growth to find employment and to build their own capacities to do well economically. Our Greek sector grew by 8.4%, and the services sector grew by 4.3%. Industry grew under the NDC. So altogether, if you look at the 16.7%, industry grew from the very mournful 0.5% under the NDC to 16.7%. You can generously say that a 17% under NPP immediately after taking over a dwindling economy. The Greek sector also grew from the dismal 2.7% in 2016 to 8.4% in 2017. Now here, you'll hear the very appreciated Planting for Food and Jobs having made some significant difference here as a policy. Friends from the media, the implication of this data, as we have just reviewed, means that under the NPP, the vulnerable in our society, the poor, and indeed, the vast majority of Ghanaians fared much, much better under NPP in 2017. And here is where I like to remind you again that data is sacred. You can verify this and you will realize the truth of the matter. Okay, so there's a graph here that we have for you to demonstrate, give you a pictorial view of what is it that the performance has been under the NPP across the sectors, the economy and in the real sector. Economic performance under NPP, we are continuing. So, ladies and gentlemen, overall, the evidence we have shown you in terms of GDP growth, I think the picture is on there, you can see the imagery. The growth reports that we're just giving you by the NPP shows a 7% average growth through 2017, 18, and 19. 3%, so 2017, 8.1, 2018, 6.3, and 2019, 6.5. And then 2020, where we'll talk about later, 0.5%. So the data will also show you that. So there's a graph of that. So let's look at development in the monetary sector under the NPP, depreciation. In 2017, and you can quickly compare this with what I just told you about the NDC and strike the difference. In 2017, our cedi depreciated 4.9%, way below what the NDC reported. In 2018, 8.4%, way below what the NDC experienced. In 2019, 12.9%, way below what the NDC reported. In 2020, 3.9%, way below what the NDC performance would show. The cedi performance in February 2020 was among the best in the world when it appreciated, the cedi rather appreciated by 4.7% against the US dollar. So let's look at development in the monetary, the development in the monetary policy sector inflation. Now, in 2017, today we're talking about inflation, and it is this same government, and I will go and talk about what the situation looked like today. But when this government took over from the NDC, when inflation, their exit inflation was about 15.4%. I just showed you that. In 2017, when we came in from 15.4%, we brought it down to 11.8%. In 2018, we brought it down further to 9.4%. In 2019, we brought inflation down to 7.9%. In 2020, it went up marginally to 10.4%. Now, this is nothing compared to what the NDC returned. And if you see a graph that we've done, you'll see that from the high 15.4%, it went all the way down up until 2020. And you know why in 2020, we'll explain that. So we're looking at economic performance and the NPP monetary sector development policy rate. We talked about the policy rate under NDC. Under the New Patriotic Party in 2017, we inherited it at 25.5% from the NDC. We brought it down very, very quickly in 2017 to 20%. Ladies and gentlemen, we're using a lot of numbers today because you can imagine the numbers and know what is it we're talking about. We brought it down from 25.5% to 20% just immediately after taking over from them. Your question you want to ask yourself is that why in the world is NDC not able to bring it down? Why were they not able to bring it down? They will tell you, IMF and the rest. They were still on the IMF, but they didn't bring it down. In 2018, we brought it down further to 17%. In 2019, we brought it down to 16%. In 2020, it came down to 14.5%. This is the record of the NPP. And what this means, ladies and gentlemen, in sum total, is that cost of money reduced. Money became cheaper. But at the same time, one of the indicators for you is that when money is cheaper, the propensity is that inflation will be there. But you saw the reduction in the cost of money under NPP, but then you didn't see inflation go up. In 2017, it was 11.8, and it went down to 9.4. In 2018, it went down to 7.9 in 2019. All the while, in 2019 especially, the cost of money in this country, the base determinant was 16% from the Bank of Ghana. But then inflation kept going. So that tells you that the economy itself was generating growth. It wasn't anybody playing with the numbers. They like to use that word also. Nobody played with the numbers, because if you see the parallel analysis that if money is cheap, when there's plenty of money chasing goods and the goods are not there, then you have inflation. But if money is cheaper, with the evidence I just showed you, it means that there's more money and there's more goods. So the price did not escalate. That's the principle. That is how it works. So you can't tweak the thing. It's real. It's like real life. You're either alive or you're dead. Ladies and gentlemen, this NPP government has not mismanaged this economy. Anybody who tells you that, and if you dare believe that, then you are failing to appreciate the numbers. And we have shown you the numbers. And all of us here can analyze it. We can see what 1 means, what 2 means, what 3 means. And the difference between 1 and 2, we can see it. The numbers don't lie.